This is my bridge. Whole lot of angry water coming down this hill. This is almost as bad as 16. The bridge holds. That's where my bridge used to be. Massive amounts of water running down New Cut Road. It's all gone. Yeah, this used to be my driveway. The bridge was right there. You can see where my truck is. Got a couple trees came down during the night. See how bad the road is. The guardrail's completely gone. The guardrail ran all the way up this road. I don't know where it is. It's going to be a while before they reopen this road. I don't know what I'm going to do. All right, here we are at the mailbox. Step over here where these two white rocks are next to the Budweiser can. You're gonna work your way down here like so. Not too bad, a little bit of a drop. And you're gonna walk down the creek here and find your way over. Probably easiest to cut through these stones here. Watch your step. All right, and then this is only a couple inches deep, easy to walk through. If you look straight ahead, you'll see a little American flag and a little soccer ball that washed up here. You're gonna have to walk your way up here. It's not too bad. There's a soccer ball, there's your flag. Come in between them, hang a right. Come under the tree, come over the two trees, hang a right, and there's the driveway. This is the parking area for the row houses down the street from me. Looks like this guy came real close to having a total loss, because in just a second here, look at this. This was not here before. This rock was not exposed before. This sheer cliff was not here. It's probably a 60, 70 foot drop down to the bottom.
What you're seeing here, down this ravine, this was a little spring trickle that fed our pond. And I'm talking a spring trickle that was, this used to be about 18 inches wide. And it was about, I don't know, maybe a foot deep. Now we're up to 6 feet deep, completely eroded, completely washed out. The driveway is destroyed down both sides. So you can see there's still water running in the swale here. This entire swale has been completely destroyed. Again, we're not getting destroyed just from the stream out front. We're getting destroyed from the runoff above us. Look what it's done. This is all brand new driveway. All of it. All brand new driveway that I just took a loan and used my savings to build. and it's all washed away. Everything, all of it, is completely destroyed. And again, this isn't just the stream out front. This is the runoff from the top of the hill from all the building that they're doing around us. And now the plan for New Cut Road is to build, what I understand, at least another 100 or more single-family homes right across the street. Everything is washed away. All of it. Both sides. This is our pond. This is our pond. As you see, we have a canoe over there. This used to be a deep enough pond that we had a canoe, we had fish. And now, as you can see, you see how much of this is a mudslide? Mudslide and gravel. All of this washed from above us. All this stone and mud washed from above the hill and has backfilled our entire pond. Over here, we had, that right there is the top of a duck hut. We used to have ducklings that were in there. All this stone came from this storm and washed it all in and backfilled our entire pond. The pond, what's left of the pond is a puddle, and it's about 10 inches deep. That's all it is. All the fish are gone, everything's dead. Every time it rains now, we just get more and more mud. So this is coming, we're getting hit from water from all directions, not just the front stream. We get hit from every direction. And what do we have in common around us? Building. That's all we have is building. And more constantly. Let's go over here. I used to have a 12-inch plexiglass pipe over here. It was a runoff drain. So here it is. It's buried here, as you can see under this. And then this just used to wash directly right over to, it was about an 8 to 10 inch drop. Look at what we have now. We have a 6-foot hole. Look how this is all destroyed. And this, again, we're being told this is a private matter. Well, this private matter is being destroyed by the building, the runoff, the property that adjoins ours, not being maintained properly. This used to be a little spring runoff. Look at it now. Let me get over here so I don't break my neck. You see all these large rocks? None of these large rocks were even exposed before. None of this. You see how deep that is? That's now running about 15 to 20 feet deep. That was never like that. Never. This is how bad this place is destroyed. It looks like a war zone. You see our driveway, how it's all buckling? This is all brand new driveway. We just replaced this 21 months ago. And this is what we got. This is what we have. And nobody from the county has even had the decency to come out here to take a look, to see what the damage is of its citizens. No one. The last time I had a meeting with the county in these woods was 21 months ago with the last storm. And you wouldn't believe what they told me then. I'm not going to repeat it on this film now. But you would not believe it. You see how much water has washed through here? Everything is washed away. Everything. The place is destroyed. Yeah, this is New Cut. You see the tributary coming off of there into this stream? This is all over. Once again, thunderstorms. Look what we got. And we're supposed to live here? Really? We can't do this. This is ridiculous to have to live like this. And you want me to build a bridge? This is why the bank won't loan me money to build a bridge. Because they see this coming. And here we are once again. This is the little stream, right? I am furious with the county's decision after baiting me along for 4 weeks that they're going to buy my property, and now this is what I got.
Well, this could be the beginning of round 3. This isn't looking good. 2 more hours of heavy rain.
Well, there we go. There we go. I guess he gets to walk across the river in the morning. You betcha. Nobody from the county. Just me and my neighbors here on New Cut Road. Hoping for the best. There you go. It's sounding real good now. Here it comes. Yeah, is this really what it's about? We've been stuck here on this hill for 3 months. No bridge, roads closed, and every time it rains like this, we just wonder what more we're going to lose. We're tired of it. We're tired of the government not helping us. All they do is continue to issue building permits. Now they have a 1-year moratorium. And that's not admitting guilt. Maybe they just don't want any construction trucks on the road. Kind of makes you wonder, right? God help us all. One of the things to start off with, through all of this, I have learned that Shepherd Pratt, which is here on New Cut, from what I'm told, has been giving, a developer has been given a permit to put 220 single-family homes on New Cut Road. I asked Mr. Kittleman, who was on my property, visiting that to look at it for a water retention center, if this was in fact true. And he said, yes, it is true, but it was not done during his administration. It was a prior administration. I don't care whose administration it is, but somebody needs to fix that. I asked Mr. Kittleman, what are we going to do? Right now, I've already lost 4 bridges. Mr. Fullerton's lost 1 bridge. What are we going to do with this additional water? And his comment to me was, I don't know. I just don't find that appropriate answer. And with the situation that we have, somebody needs to take into consideration what is going on here with this development. If we're going to have 200 homes put here, the impervious surface and the water amount that's coming off of that, how are we going to do this in 2 years, but we're talking about a 5-year plan in Ellicott City? How can you possibly do the construction there while adding to the water strength of the New Cut? The New Cut, from what I saw of the figures that I saw at the meetings, stayed at 8 feet plus consistent during both storms, which was the highest volume of water than out of all 3 streams. So if you're going to add all of this water to the New Cut, how can you possibly increase the volume and then try to catch it in town and fix it? It doesn't make sense to me. I could be completely out of base on this, but it doesn't make sense. You're going to add water to it while you're trying to fix it down there. Now I hear about lives matter and as far as injury to properties, homes, everything. But if you're going to add water to it and then you're going to put contractors down there to start working on this, aren't we going to endanger the lives of the contractors who are going to be down there, down in the ditches trying to get this done, and you're going to dump more water on top of them? None of this makes sense. It was brought to me and Mr. Fullerton before that what they were talking about was putting a water retention center where our properties are. That makes sense. Catch the New Cut back here, especially it's the strongest one. Catch it back here before it gets into town. Why let it get into town and then try to stop it? Stop it before it joins with the other 2, the Tiber and the Hudson. If you catch the Hudson up above and you catch the New Cut down here, that reduces the water volume. But again, this is just a common sense thought. I'm not an engineer. I don't know, but just common sense would tell you that. But first and foremost, to do this and not include the calculations of the water coming off of this new development and try to put this together makes absolutely no sense. Right now we're at the entrance to Shepherd Pratt off New Cut. There's another entrance to Shepherd Pratt that comes off of College Avenue, which runs parallel on the other side. Right now there's developments that have been built over there to where the runoff from that comes onto this property. So right now here we have the woods, we've got soil that can soak the water up when it comes off. Right now it's coming from College to here where it gets soaked up. Once they put all this into impervious surfaces, then this goes right over here into the New Cut. So it just floods us up more. You can see the deterioration. You can see how far it's washed out. This gentleman here, his bridge got lost the last time. It's been put back in. Well, part of his, he was fortunate he lost part of it. But this entire thing floods out. You can see the devastation all through the woods here, the trees that are down. That's how powerful this is. And now they want to take all of this away and pave it. I don't understand what they're thinking. I don't think if people knew about it, I don't think they would understand what they're thinking. And they've told me, well, we've had abnormal weather patterns. And I get that. I understand it. Yes, we have. But in 10, we had 8 inches of rain, I believe, in 1 hour. I didn't lose anything at that time. Mr. Fullerton, he didn't lose anything either. I've lived here for 18 years. Dave, you've been here, what?
21 years.
21 years. Haven't lost anything. In the past 3 years, I've lost 4 bridges, 1,600 feet of paved driveway, a house washout with a foot of water in it, a pond backfilled from a mudslide off of county property, which is parallel to my property, and it's all building. Even the neighbors behind up in Stonecrest say they're having the same thing come with them, that they're starting to wash out up there. But we keep getting washed into this bowl. We're at the bottom of this, and this is where all the water's coming. But for them to do this now, I know the developer wants to put it in, but it's wrong. How can you put this in when we're under the crisis that we're under now? Right now, our fate has been sealed by this development and the building that's going on right now. But it's not too late to unseal for other people. This can't continue going on. This used to be listed as the scenic route into old Ellicott City. You can see all the gray stone that's been put in here now. All this has been put in here to shore up the road. And the way this is, this runs all the way down to Main Street. This road has been completely washed out. It's here, it's on the other side here, but primarily on this side where it runs parallel with the river. Everything has been washed out completely. You see the devastation as far as the trees back here, everything is washed out. But that's how powerful this New Cut Creek is. This is a little creek right now. It might be maybe 6, 8 inches deep, but it'll jump to 8 feet deep in no time. And we continue adding water to this. And we just can't do it and expect that it's going to work out. It's not.
Eroded so badly.
Rental property. This is my second house down at the lower part. And this is what I was under the impression that they were talking about a water retention center as far as the way the river runs down here, and to cut all this out and pull it. There's a natural hill back there that would act as a backdrop to retain water here. But as far as the destruction of this house took a foot of water in. But that's how wide this creek gets. That's the width of it. That's the power of this thing and the destruction that it does. But as you can see, everything has been destroyed down through here. And this is the second time. I did this in 16, and now I'm doing it again in 18. Mr. Fulton is the next house down. He's lost his bridge. The entire bottom of his property is wiped out like this. But the strength of this creek, I don't understand why they decided to overlook it. It was one way. They called us to their offices to talk, and it changed within weeks. Well, about a month. Totally changed to a totally different option of tearing the buildings down. And if they have to tear the buildings down, if buildings have to be raised, I'm fine with that. I'm not happy about it, but if that's what has to happen to save Ellicott City, that's what we need to do. We need to do something. But I think to make up a quick decision as to what to do, especially if you're not going to use all the data. Again, I don't know if the data has been taken into consideration for the development up on 103. Overlook at Gateway. I don't know if the data for the water runoff of the development that's soon to come at Shepherd Pratt, but if the data has not been used, I don't see how the plan can possibly be accurate. And with that, all we're doing is endangering people in Ellicott City, giving people false hope, and to give them a false hope after what everybody has been through here is ridiculous. But I think we need to take a better look at it. And if all this has been taken into consideration, and this is the plan to do, and this is the direction to go, so be it. Here we are back on New Cut Road down at the stream. You can see the devastation from the last storm. This beam here, this steel beam, this used to be up there. This was one of my last new bridges that washed down here. This is the only one we can find. There were 8 of these in there, so they've all washed downstream for the destruction. But my question for the county is, New Cut Road is closed. Every day we have to move barricades to get to and from, to get to work. New Cut Road is closed, what we're told. Why is New Cut Road closed? I don't understand why New Cut Road is closed. It seems to be passable. And with New Cut Road being closed, will we get plowed this year with snow? Right now it's October. We're going to blink and snow is going to be on the ground. Right now we still have to walk across the river to get to the road. But what does my neighbor Dave, myself, and the other neighbors here, what are we looking at for the wintertime? Will we get snow plowed or won't we get snow plowed? We don't know, and nobody can seem to answer that question for us. I don't know if they don't want to or can't, they don't have an answer, but just talk to us. But New Cut Road back here is destroyed, and a lot of focus has been on Main Street, and I appreciate that. My heart goes out to the people on Main Street, it really does. But somebody's got to look at back here what's going on with people's lives back here. Our lives have all been destroyed too. But it just doesn't seem like this is important. All the attention's on Main Street. And again, I'm all for the people on Main Street. But we would just like to have a little bit of people for us too. That's all. And I know there's people down there that care about us. I know with Dave, we talk to people all the time. They care. But the community does not know what's going on back here. And somebody needs to look at it and find out, between a development coming up here, the road being like this, the road being closed, no answers for any of us. Something's got to be done about this.
This is my bridge at 3910. As you can see where this wall is, that's where my bridge used to be. I had about 25 feet between the stream banks. After the storm, I had about 50 feet. You can see all of this gray stone is all repair work, all along here. The erosion, the lateral erosion from the flood ate the ground out all the way out here to the road, and it was actually undermining the asphalt. So all of this is repair. If you look further down, you can see one of the I-beams that used to sit here for my bridge. And further is a 25,000-pound block of concrete that served as a bridge abutment. It's 30 yards downstream. That's how strong the force of this water was during the May 27th flood. For 4 months, I had to park a loaner vehicle right here by my mailbox, walk across a creek with groceries, garbage, whatever I had to do in the morning and in the afternoon. It became particularly challenging if it had been raining and I came home at night. All my stepping stones were covered with water, so I got my feet wet trying to take things across the creek. So now we have a temporary bridge, but this is only going to last until we get another devastating flood. And then we get to go through this again, because nothing is being done to mitigate the hundreds of thousands of gallons of water that are flowing down this creek during a storm. This activity behind me is where they are finally fixing the broken fire hydrant at 3880 New Cut Road. On May 28th, the morning after the flood, my neighbors informed utilities that the hydrant had been leaking for several months, so they immediately took it out of service. But they left everybody in the area without an active fire hydrant and left everybody in danger of a catastrophic fire. They came out this morning at about 8 a.m. and they have been here all day, finally repairing that and giving us the fire protection that we need and deserve and pay taxes for.
A couple of things I wanted to stress with this video. This video is not about the county did not come back and buy our property. I'm pointing out things, Dave's pointing out things here that are going on New Cut Road, some construction that we found out that we don't think is going to be very good for the community at all. We wanted to point it out to you, and some issues that we did need to get pointed out. As far as, I keep getting told, oh, this is natural because of these irregular rainfalls. Well, if that's the case, why do we have a one-year building moratorium? It's like talking out of both sides of your mouth. If we have a building moratorium, it's because you think that it's runoff. If you think that it's rain, you just let the building keep going, or is it that you don't want people working construction in Howard County? Doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. Something I wanted to clear up is that Dave and I had come out and stated that we were offered a buyout. We were called by the county and invited to Mr. Kittleman's office. We did not call them. They called us, invited us up. They talked to us about a buyout. They talked to us about would we consider selling our property for the betterment of Ellicott City. We agreed. We asked roughly what would they be paying. We were told that they would be paying fair market value, pre-flood conditions, and that we would wait for 4 to 5 weeks to have an appraiser come out, but that they were looking at buying our property. When asked about fixing our property, we were told not to bother going through fixing it up because it would probably be just demolished anyway, that it would be a buyout. My wife and I actually started packing. That's the level that it was. As far as Mr. Weinstein has come out on public TV and stated that we were misunderstood and we just heard things wrong. I've got 6 emails that reference a buyout, that we were on a buyout, and they're from 4 or 5 different people in the county, and it references either that we're on the buyout list, that it's being reviewed, setting up appointments for Mr. Kittleman to come out to the property to review Mr. Fullerton and my property, to look at the damage that had been done. So, and these emails are from June 14th to August 3rd. If we were mistaken, why would, and these aren't phone calls recorded, these are just emails, but if we were mistaken, why would you entertain even sending emails to us for almost a 2-month period of time? Something doesn't make sense. Well, the fact of the matter is that we're not misunderstood. We know what we were told, and if you've decided against it, that's fine. But as far as the rest of this mess, there seems to be a lot of loopholes, things that just don't add up here. And that's what we wanted to make the community aware of. I'm not saying that something's wrong. I'm just saying that something doesn't add up properly. And the fact of building more homes when we have this mess, if we can't handle the water that we have, why, in God's name, are we going to add more mess to it? And as far as the lives to be afraid for, the lives down here in Ellicott City, we need to fear for those lives. We need to fear for the New Cut lives. We need to fear for the visitors. And God help those poor contractors that are going to be down there in the middle of this mess if we keep throwing water at them. Thank you very much. I think Mr. Fulton and I appreciate your time, and that's what it's about. Thank you.